Welcome to the Dave Palma Show, the podcast that revives, restores, and awakens your innermost capabilities.
You have the training and the talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail?
I love what I do. When you love what you do, you want to be the best at it.
Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
Find your path to success through the journey of those who have succeeded. And now, your host, Dave Palma.
Hi, welcome back to the Dave Palma Show. And with me today, I have the managing partner at Ironhawk Financial, who's a distinguished figure in the world of finance, known for his dedication for helping individuals and business owners in the construction and blue-collar industries achieve financial stability. Joseph Lombardi, welcome to the Dave Palma Show.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
Hey, great to have you on the show, Joseph. Great to have you. How's it going out there? Where are you, in the US at the moment, or?
Yeah, I'm in Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut. Yeah. New England, Boston.
Yeah, I go to a lot of Celtics games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, you've got a great story to tell in terms of finance. It's not just only obviously being now successful in the financial world, but you do have a great story of resilience. And obviously that's what this show is all about, is sharing the ups and downs and everything really, and where you got to this point. So with that said, yeah, I would like you to share with my audience or my listeners, I should say, the lesson, your journey, and then the lessons and strategies that can empower them, my listeners, to protect their own financial futures.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, it basically started out, my parents got divorced. I was 4 years old, and then I ended up moving in with my father, and just me and him. He owned a construction company, so I was definitely on a lot of jobs with him. And, it was just me and him in the old Ford, vans, little two-seaters.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So, I was like 12 years old, and at this point,
right. Okay.
And I went to a millionaire's house. Like, he had like a baseball field and a basketball court in his base. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so my father's like, go play with his son, and I'm going to price out the job. So I go downstairs, and it was like the funnest thing I've ever done. So I ended up going back to the truck after about an hour and a half, and I go, Dad, what does that guy do? And he goes, oh, he works on Wall Street. So since I was like 12, I wanted to work on Wall Street, really not knowing anything about what it meant or what it is. I want that lifestyle.
Yeah, I know, yeah. At the age of 12, yeah. It's
So, I mean, if you fast forward, I'd say about 3 years later, I was at a job site with my dad, and he ended up falling 3 stories off a ladder, and his bone and his foot disintegrated into 1,000 pieces. And here I am at 15. I was a sophomore at Fairfield Ward High School in Connecticut. And I had a sister that was born 2 pounds, 7 ounces fetal alcohol syndrome because my ex-stepmom drank vanilla extract and Listerine during her pregnancy, which almost killed her.
Yeah.
So now here I am.
Very light.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm not 18. My sister's 1.5, 2. So I had to drop out of football, track, and basketball that I was varsity and work at a daycare. Still staying in high school, but dropping her off before school.
Yeah.
Working there after school.
What did you do in track, by the way? What did you do in track?
I was cross country, so I used to run 10 miles a day.
Yeah. Oh, wow. 10 miles a day. I was a 400, 800 runner. So I did do cross country, but a good level.
That's where the pretty girls were in my school. So that's why.
Well, the 400, 800. I agree with you there. Anyway, so go on.
So I was like, oh, what do I do? So basically for about 2 years, I had to raise her, or both of us would have been taken by DCF because there was no adult really in the house, so it really affected me. I was like, Dad, you had 20 guys working for you, 9 trucks, you were closing $500,000, $1 million construction projects. And why didn't you ever have a foundation? And he's like, I never thought it would happen to me. And then, fast forward about 2 years later, I get a phone call. I had this strange relationship with my mom. She lived in Boca Raton, Florida, and I was in Connecticut. And my aunt, who I never talked to, I probably haven't seen her in 10 years at this point, to this phone call. She's like, "Oh, your mom is diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver. She's going to die in a couple of weeks." And she was only 52.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
and then she had no life insurance, of course. My dad had no disability insurance, of course. And that crippled me emotionally and financially. That wasn't a fun time at all. And then about 3 years later, I get a, 911. My grandmother had a stroke, and she ended up having to go to a nursing home, and she never left. She was there for over 7 years, and she exhausted my grandfather's estate of $4.2 million. She developed dementia.
Because she didn't have the insurance.
Long-term care. So,
yeah.
It's like, it was my whole life work was, I was supposed to be a contractor. I was supposed to take over my father's business. It was called Joseph Lombardi Builders and Sons.
Yeah.
And there was no business to take over when I turned 18. So I ended up bartending at the time, and the CEO of Northwestern Mutual came in and said, "Hey, what are you studying?" I said, "Finance and economics." And he said, "Well, this was the best customer service I've ever had," when I was bartending at the time. And he's like, would you want to work with me? I said, "Absolutely." So I got in the business when I was 19, and, I've been doing it for over 20 years. And those life lessons, seeing the people you love most have things out of their control happen, and you have to deal with the physical pain, the mental pain, the anxiety, and then you have to deal with the financial pain on how am I going to pay my bills? Am I making any money? The mortgage payments still due. I had to work my way through college and work full time. So I was working as a bartender, a financial advisor, and going to school full time. And I met my now wife, first day of orientation. So I was driving 60, 70,000 miles a year from 2002 to 2006 when I was at, university. So it really baffled me that, like, not everybody could be like this. And sure enough, I got into the business. They started calling me the dog, because I would chase construction trucks on the highway. I would, be in the fast lane, and as soon as I see a ABC Electric, 123 Plumbing, there'd be a phone number on the truck. So I'd pull behind them and give them a call and say, "Hey, my father was J.B. Lombardi Builders. He fell 3 stories off a ladder, lost everything. Can I buy you a cup of coffee and make sure it doesn't happen to you and your family?"
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how I started growing my business.
That was your pitch, basically.
That was, I a lot of people knew my father.
Okay.
He was very big,
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
He was working in Greenwich, Connecticut, which is one of the wealthiest towns in the country.
Yeah.
And he worked on Paul Newman's house. CEO
okay.
CEO
the actor, you mean? The actor Paul Newman, is it?
Yeah, so there's like a strip in Greenwich of all $10 million houses back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Work today. But, and he was the one building all those and renovating them all. So, it was a very fun but hard time, because when I was 4 after the divorce, we had nothing. So I lived in an attic. We didn't have running water.
Right.
We had a toaster, a bucket, a mattress on the floor, a TV, a microwave, and that was pretty much it.
So your dad built a business from nothing as well, then?
Yeah, I mean, he had a successful business, and of course the divorce destroyed it, because my mom wanted to party and drink and do drugs, and she died at 52 from it. And she took everything. So it was just me, my dad, a truck, a TV, and a blanket, and we started a new life, basically, just me and him.
Yeah.
And, and then my grandmother gave my dad a loan on her house, a home equity line, back in the 90s when the housing market shot up like crazy, and that's really what sparked my dad's business to, grow to a multi-million-dollar business. And then he just fell and lost everything. He was in the hospital for almost 2 years.
2 years? You mean going in and out? Going in and out?
He had six surgeries, but rehabilitation on his ankle. So it really affected me, because it's like, my dad's not there. I lost so-called my childhood. I didn't really have much of it to begin with.
Yeah.
But, and then now I got to be responsible for this little 2-year-old baby girl, and I'm 15. And I was like, okay.
You mean your sister? You're talking about your sister?
Yeah. So it really affected me, and people don't understand, like, these things happen. I mean, there's a 50% probability of somebody getting disabled in a labor intensive job, and a 25% probability of someone getting disabled in a non-labor intensive jobs.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I worked as a firefighter, so I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
You know, like people don't think there's going to be a fire, right? And you don't have a fire plan, you know, when
No,
there's
that's
a
right.
fire,
Yeah.
you're out of luck.
That's right. Yeah.
Because you don't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, that really got me into this business, and, you know, I really started growing and working really hard, because for me, it wasn't a job. It was a passion of protection. You know, I really wanted to help people protect the people they love and their business and their home and their quality of life and their school system their kids are in. You know, I've been doing this for over 2 decades, and I've delivered a lot of death claims, a lot of disability claims where, because I met with them, now their family was financially safe while they were emotionally scarred. And it felt good. You know, I'm sure it felt good, you being a firefighter and you were able to save a cat or save somebody in a burning building. It's like my purpose on earth, you know, my meaning on earth has purpose. I did something to help mankind, you know, because, you know, we have to take from the earth to live, but we want to give back, you know, and it was very rewarding, this career, you know. And fast forward 2 decades, I got 1,600 clients, over $1 billion of protection and rollovers. I've written 3 books on Amazon, you know, Being Your Own Bank. There's a better way than 401k and long-term care without long-term pain. I've been featured in International Business Times, Business Insider, Market Insider. I've won
That's huge.
27 industry awards in 20 years. I built my company up. I'm 5-star rated on Google, A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau. It's just, if you do the right thing every day, you know, you live in a karmatic world where you get rewarded. And it goes the other way for some people, but it's like, if you do the right thing every day, you know, life is good. Life is good, yeah. You know, living in purpose and living in God's purpose is really, you know, all I do day in and day out. And you know, I love it very much.
Yeah. No, fantastic. That's great. Well, that is definitely some story to share, and it's very concise the way you put it, really, because it's, to me, if all that happened, you know, I'd be talking for ages about it, but not, you know, you try and let this thing, you try and get over it somehow. You know, you don't want to fester and let it, you know, those hardships you had in your life, you don't want to sort of let it bottle up inside you, do you, really?
Well, you have 2 paths. When God tests you, right? I was watching this video that said, you know, I prayed for patience, but God gave me turmoil. You know, I prayed for strength and God put a lot of problems in front of me. It's like, God is if you're praying for something, God's going to test you so you can get stronger, like you're building a muscle. So it's like, you really have just 2 paths when that thing comes. You can fold, be a victim, or you can fight back and be a hero. And it's really, to me, it's that simple. It's, you know, are you going to bask in the half glass empty, or are you going to bask in the half glass full?
Exactly.
And it's, you know, I'm very blessed, you know, that I'm still here. I have 3 beautiful children. I've been with my wife for 21 years. I have a thriving business, you know, but all that isn't easy. Not a lot of people can obtain that. And I feel like I have attained that through going through so much adversity, growing my thick skin, growing armor against, you know, enemies, you know, whatever, you know, spiritual or whatnot. So it was hard, but, you know, I wouldn't change anything, because I wouldn't be where I am today, you know. So it wasn't easy, but it was worth it, you know?
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, people do get tested, and, you know, that's just life, isn't it, really? Anything. I mean, sports, obviously, you know, there's going to be a winner and a loser, and it's just something, like you say, it's a path you take, you know. You go on, move on to the next game if you lost, or you build on to better things if you won, you know. So life is full of win and losses, aren't they? So.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's fun to win, but it's when you're dealt with you know, when you're dealt with a loss, it's,
it's, you know,
what do I do? Do I spend my energy complaining and woe is me?
And that's the path you're talking about. Yeah.
Or do I take that time and learn and say, okay, I did it wrong this time, but I'm going to retry? Because I was thinking the other day, how blessed are we to wake up every day and we can, do new things, try new things, have goals, have long-term goals. Like there is a part of life that is very fulfilling if you fill it with the right things. And it's, it's having my daughter, win her regionals in dance,
Oh, wow.
have my son,
Okay.
will be on the championship lacrosse team.
Well, that's
my other son,
a national sport in Canada.
Yeah.
That's not far from you. It's not far.
Yeah. So, I mean, my boys, my last name's Lombardi. So I've been coaching my whole life when my children are born. Now they're 14, 11, and 8.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got an 8-year-old. I've got an 8-year-old daughter. Well, she's 9 next month, actually.
Yeah. My daughter will be 9 in May, too.
Yeah. She's doing dance she will be doing some dance classes and stuff like that. Yeah. She loves it all.
I watch
singing, acting, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like,
where
did you learn? I live in a town in Connecticut that has an academy, a dance academy that's like nationwide known. So I guess I got lucky because she's in like the 5-star and competing at the top level and winning at it. And it is awesome. It's a great time to see my daughter, who's 8 years old, go on stage in front of hundreds of people and perform effortlessly. It's unreal,
Going back to what you're saying, I came across a saying not too long ago in recent times, and there's no such thing as that you win. I think it went something like, there's no such thing as losing. You either win or you learn. So, you learn from the losses, basically. And even when you win, you still can learn something from what can go back.
The only way to win at a high level is to lose at a high level. And if you don't understand, whether you're in sales, you have to hear so many no's to get to a yes.
That kind of thing, yeah, exactly.
If you're trying to be the best physical health, you got to go through pulled muscles and straining and this. People think life is this straight line when it's nowhere near that. You're going to have some crazy wins and you're going to have some huge losses.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking, and it's reflect on the losses and learn, but don't dwell on them. And I think that's what a lot of people do is when they get a loss, whatever that loss is to them.
Yeah.
They dwell on it and like, oh, I should have done this. I could have done that. And what if I did that? And they look to blame other people because, a lot of people don't take accountability for their actions. And it's like, if you just accept it, and say, I'm still on my path of where I'm trying to go, whether it's financially, health-wise, spiritual, relationship-wise, with a spouse.
All of them, really.
Yeah.
Because for your father, that was a lot combined in one. Financial, his health, and his health, his finance, everything. It was how he turned around. Oh, yes, okay, yeah. Oh, right, I didn't know. Yeah. Okay.
And now I'm his power of attorney.
Yeah.
He took care of me when nobody else wanted me, and now all my siblings, they all ran away to other states and left me with my dad, and so I'll take care of him when nobody wants him. It's a circle of life. So.
Yeah. No, I understand that. So let's look at your books before we finish up. We don't really have something called a 401k, but I know that basically that's a pension fund, isn't it? Basically, or creating your own pension fund. We've got our own versions of that in the UK, but you call it 401ks, don't you? It's basically, is that right?
Yeah. So the 401k is very similar to an IRA, a simplified employer pension, a 457, a 403b, anything that the government offers you as a retirement is usually called qualified money, unless it's like a Roth IRA, which is not called. But that is like the absolute worst place to put your money long term. It's high fee, it's illiquid, you're in the casino, it's high taxed. If you do the math, if you have a 401k or an equivalent in Canada to a government sponsored retirement account, there's fees inside of it.
Yeah.
Those fees are compounding on the value of your account. So you end up throwing away half of your money in fees.
Yeah.
Then when you start taking distributions, you throw away half your money in taxes.
Yeah.
So literally on your $1, you're lucky to get 25 cents on it.
Yeah.
That's why, like in the United States, they match you. Like, oh, if you contribute to a 401k, we'll give you free money. And there's no such thing as a free lunch.
That's right.
And so they know that the dollar you write off in 2024 and 2054, that dollar's going to grow $20 with inflation. right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they know that they're going to whack you with a 25% savings today, but they're getting 25% of 20 times that amount later.
Yeah.
So for every like $1 you save, you got to pay them 20 later. So it's like better off. What I do for my clients, I build them tax-free, liquid, sue-proof, averaging double digits, has long-term care, life, disability, all the things you need to build a financial foundation. You know, you could pull money out of it whenever you want and then still earn interest on money that's not there. So I just had a client dump in 1.1 million because he was downsizing a home he just sold, and he was buying a $700,000 house. So he dumped in the money, pulled out 700. You think, no, he's only going to earn interest on 400,000, which is the difference. No, he earned interest on the full 1.1 because it's a lien or a loan against the money. So your money's still working for you. And you can't lose in this strategy. It's guaranteed not to lose. So it's basically what the millionaires and billionaires do.
Right.
Like when Shohei Ohtani, a baseball player, has got a $700 million contract to go play for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Do you really think he put his money in a bank? Right?
Yeah.
That's only FDIC insured for $250.
Since the bank crisis in 2008, I think.
Yeah, and there's another one in the horizon.
Yeah. Yeah, there will be. Yeah.
They put their money in life insurance.
Life insurance. Yeah.
It's tax free. It's liquid. It's sue proof.
Yeah.
You know, it's divorce proof in some states. They built this system for them. It's like we're all driving on these potholed roads financially, and it's beautiful superhighway. And people, once they realize that this exists, are like, oh my God, I'd rather drive on something that's going to get me where I'm going way faster instead of something that's going to cause all these problems with fees and the market crashes and I need to access it. And, you know, the average American, when they pull money out of their 401k in a down market, net about 30% of the value. So if they had $100,000 between the market loss, the early withdrawal penalty, federal tax, state tax, FICA, Medicare, unemployment, Social Security, they literally get like 30 cents on their dollar.
Yeah.
And with my strategy, my clients get 100% on their dollar. There's no market loss, no early withdrawal penalty, no federal tax, no state tax. So it's built by billionaires.
Yeah.
You want to use what they're doing? Do you want to do what the winners are doing? Or do you want to do what the losers are doing? And
well, that's it, exactly.
It's pretty much that simple. And we're not allowed to mass advertise because the government makes so much money on your retirement money.
Yeah.
In the United States, they're in bed with Wall Street, meaning there's all backdoor deals and, you know, like, you know how the government works, you know, anything to benefit them while they say, oh, I'm doing this for you. And then their pockets are getting fatter, right? So it's like you go with the government, you're going with a monopoly. You know, you're going in the private sector with investment insurance companies, there's tons of competition. So you're going to get a way better product, way better strategy, way better tangible assets than you will by just doing whatever the government says for you to do.
Yeah. And what's the other book? Be Your Own Bank. I mean, it'd be nice to, if you can, be your own bank, I suppose, and pay yourself interest rate however you can.
Yeah. So Be Your Own Bank teaches my clients, if they need money, build your own. So build a bank that's liquid, right? That's been averaging 15% tax-free returns over the last 20 years using option contracts. Have it where if God forbid you're sued or you're in a bad car accident, you hurt or kill somebody, they're going to lien your 401k. They're going to lien your Canadian retirement. They can't lien this asset because it doesn't exist. You remember with COVID, the HIPAA laws, right? Nobody's allowed to know anything because of HIPAA laws. Well, that's a wall between the general public and you. And so even creditors, right? So having life insurance, which is, I have clients that are 20 years old. They don't even have a mortgage or kids. Why the heck are they buying life insurance? They're doing it for the wrapper around their money, just like a retirement from a government is a wrapper around your money that has rules. So you're not necessarily buying life insurance. You're buying the IRS codes inside of the life insurance. So it allows clients to save millions over their lifetime in taxes. And I'm saying millions, like prove it to you in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And it basically allows my clients not only do that, make more money than they could by owning these target funds. You know, these target funds, in my opinion, are almost like a scam. It's like, you know, you have these options to invest in through your IRA or Canadian government, I'm not sure, but do you guys have options in Canada to invest in different companies, or is it just set by the
Oh
government?
no, I'm in the UK. Yeah, I just said Canada because you said lacrosse, and I said yeah. Right. Sorry. Options. I don't know what options is. I've heard the term options, but we have like ISAs and things like that, which is tax free on the interest, and you can do it in stocks and shares and things like that. I think that's the big one, but it's a government scheme anyway, so it's all run through banks and things like that. So
yeah, when the government has their hands in it,
yeah,
they're not doing it because they're different. You know, they're doing it because they want to extract value somehow from its.
What I was going to say, they're still investing the money and probably taking a big chunk out of it, and you're still only getting a little bit tax free, maybe. But yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the United States has something called a Roth IRA, which is very similar, but it has all these penalties. Most people won't follow all the rules over 30 years, and the government's going to take all their money in taxes and penalties anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's like, it's being your own bank allows you to, when the banks decide to collapse, because they always do every 20 to 50 years, you're going to have a bunch of cash and nobody else has.
Yeah.
The safest place for your money is insurance company.
Yeah.
They hate that word. Oh, insurance on car and home and health and an umbrella. And I don't want another insurance. It's like the safest place for your money historically that survived in the United States, the Civil War, World War I, the Great Depression, World War II, were insurance companies. That's where the wealthiest of the wealthy had all their money. Because when the banks were collapsing and the bank runs, you see these lines of 1,000 people at the bank trying to take their money out.
Yeah.
But remember, you see them at the gas stations when the gas runs out. There's none of that there, because by law, for every dollar an insurance company, they have to have a reciprocal dollar. Banks here, in the United States, they do something called micro lending. So if you deposit $1,000 in the bank, they loan out 90%. So that's $900. And then when that guy gets that $900, where does he put the money? He puts the money in the bank. So then they leverage an additional 90%, which is $810. Then where does the guy with the $810 put his money? In the bank. And so on and so on and so on and so on. So like literally less than 10% in the United States of money that is around is not real. It's all smoke and mirrors. If everyone tried to go to the bank and get their money out, there isn't any.
Yeah, no. That's it. That's a really scary thing, really, that so many people use the banks. But yeah. Well, and it's very interesting great story as well, journey you've had, and very interesting theory that, I've never heard about the life insurance because not many people talk about it, do they really? So
it's now becoming popular, but I've been doing it for over 20 years. I pick Instagram. They talk about infinite banking, be your own bank, rich person's Roth. And it's like, I've been specializing in that. I work with over 200 carriers of different companies, best strategies. I replace a lot of people's existing life insurance through a 1035 exchange for the cost of a penny. You get some way more benefits, way more returns, way less fees. It's a lot of people don't know about it, and a lot of people take ignorance for profit. So it's all about how you build it, and luckily I deal in volume, so I don't have to, overcharge people. So there's a lot to it. It's not as simple as, oh, let me just buy a permanent life insurance policy and I'm fine.
Yeah,
90% of them are garbage.
Yeah.
So it's finding the ones that have the best riders, the best returns, the best strategies, the highest ratings. It's not just, I'm going to buy this whole life or this index universal life and I'm fine. Because it has to be built a certain way to maximize growth and minimize fees. So, but if it's done properly, it is by far, without a doubt, question anything, the best retirement vehicle you could possibly own. For not just the growth, the upside, the higher returns, tax-free, protecting your family, disability, critical illness, critical injury, life insurance. Like, it's their whole, it protects you from the 4 things that are guaranteed to happen to you. One of them is, if you live long, you literally have a tax-free pension. You have a lifetime income. Yeah. And then if I die early, there's a tax-free benefit to the people I love or my business partner. Or if I get disabled, the whole thing's funded. And if I need long-term care, I can access $30,000 a month tax-free for the rest of my life. I'm not selling high-tax, illiquid assets like my grandmother did and turn a $4 million estate into zero over 6 years. And it protects what you built. so that the state or government doesn't steal everything that you have accumulated. And that's pretty much how they built the system.
Fantastic.
We're born in debt, which is slavery, and then we die in debt. And then on top of all that, they tax us.
Yeah.
So it's like we're enslaved. If you really take a look at your dollar, how much you pay in federal tax, state tax, FICA, Medicare, unemployment, property tax, car tax, cell phone tax, alcohol tax, tobacco tax if you smoke.
Cell phone tax.
and then just to buy goods and services, sales tax.
Yeah.
Literally. And then you have the debt, and God forbid you have a mortgage or throwing away interest. You have a car payment, throwing away interest. You have a student loan, throwing away interest. You have credit card debt, throwing away interest. So if you have the interest and the taxes, something like 60 to 70% of your dollars are you're not getting any value on.
No.
It's insane.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. It's really been an enlightening experience talking about it today. And could you just, before we go, tell us where our audience could find and listeners could find your books and more about the work you do?
Yeah, so I'm willing to offer any listeners that are interested in learning these strategies for free. I'll send you all my books. There's 3 of them. I'll send you the articles from Forbes that talk about my strategy, one written by a certified financial planner, one written by a certified public accountant. I'll also send you the articles I was featured in International Business Times Business Insider. All you have to do is send an email to me personally at Joe, J-O-E, at Ironhawk Financial, iron like the metal, hawk like the bird, financial.com. You can go to my website, go to www.ironhawkfinancial.com, and there's a contact us button. Fill out your email, your phone number, and your name. If you want to book a meeting directly on my calendar, you can go to calendly.com/Ironhawk Financial and book a time with me. I've never charged a client $1 in 20 years. I never lost a client $1 in 20 years. My main goal right now is just to provide value, help people make good long-term financial decisions that help them and the people they love. And I'm very blessed with my team of lawyers, CPAs, attorneys, elder law attorneys, other people specialize in different niches, finance, that are on my team. And it's very helpful because that's what the billionaires have. They have teams.
Yeah.
That's how they're able to do all these things. That's how they're able to pay no taxes. That's how they're able to do all these things. And the average person doesn't have it.
Well, I don't believe for 1 minute Elon Musk made all that money just from, his own. He must have had some people working underneath him or teams. You don't become a billionaire just like that. It's hard. You don't. Someone called Tony Robbins, the motivation speakers. Don't trade your time for money. It's like that, isn't it? You're not going to make all that money. Yeah.
Most people rent their job, and I own it. So I get the equity, I get the growth, I get all. You rent it, you don't get any of that.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's so important to own your business and your time, and not rent it out for somebody else's dreams, but build it for your dream.
And part of being your own bank is part of that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, be your own bank, and then the long-term care. It's all the things that the wealthy person thinks of, because they're all things that he has the resources, the fund. The average person is trying to figure out how the heck can I pay the electric bill this month.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like getting your money together, getting a budget,
paycheck to paycheck, really.
Yeah, how are you supposed to save for retirement when you're so far in debt?
Exactly.
It's very sad, and it's just about changing your habits and building a budget and having a plan. Because if you fail to plan, it plans to fail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, Joseph, it's been a really great pleasure having you on the show today, and thanks very much for sharing all this knowledge with my audience today.
Yeah, I appreciate the platform and the opportunity, Dave, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening, and remember, if you want to support what we do, then share, subscribe, and leave a review over on Apple Podcasts. Or head over to my website, davepalmer.com, and click on Rate Show. Well, that's all for now, but I'll see you in the next episode of The Dave Palmer Show.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.